Wow, what a week. What a week. I mean, truly. That was something. Hey guys, what's up? I don't remember do I have an intro? I don't think I do. What's frying, friars? That's right. That's what I say. Welcome to the kitchen or whatever. Hope you guys had a good week. For me, it was really interesting because last week was kind of perfect. Not really, obviously. It wasn't actually like perfect, but it was a really good week, and it was a really good week for a while. So this week was kind of set to not be, you know. Obviously, you always have to have fall off. You have to have the end of perfection, if you will. And so that's kind of what this week was. Not that it was a bad week. Honestly, it was fine. But the last couple weeks, for whatever reason, just did they were so much for seemingly no reason. Like, there was a video, I think I talked about it last time, where it just blew up. I still don't know why. It stopped. It stopped blowing up. I was on a podcast, which I didn't feel like that made any sense. Like, I'm not nearly big enough to be on a podcast, but whatever. I was. And I did a whole bunch of different things. Like, my Discord was exploding. My videos were doing really well. I was in 2 JSchlatt, like, shorts, you know, which isn't a mainline video, but it was a short and it did well, you know. Both of them did well, which is cool. And so last couple weeks was just really good. So it was kind of set to fall off, right? Which is, I feel like that's pretty that's pretty natural. I didn't feel like I deserved it to succeed in the first place. So yeah, falling off is fine. Uh-oh. Ow. And so that is just kind of like how I've been for the last couple weeks. As well, at work, things were just kind of really good for a while. You know, nothing that was like, holy crap, this is remarkable. But it was like, wow, this has just been really nice, and I don't think it's gonna last. And guess what? It didn't. Because this week was, as I said, it was kind of average, and not in a bad. It was kind of bad on paper. It was a bad week, right? Because obviously, comparatively to the last couple weeks, which were practically perfect, you know, this week was a far cry from that. It was just the fall off. You know, I can show you the graph of the video that was doing really, really well, and it literally had like a hard fall off where it's like a horizontal curve. It's kind of funny to look at, and I was expecting it. I'm not that out of shape about it. Obviously, it's still something that's like, that's not fun, but it's not something that I'm like, no, this is the end of times. I didn't really think that I deserved it a whole lot, so it didn't hit me that hard. But at work, you know, for whatever reason, this last couple weeks has just been, this last week was really rough. I mean, things going wrong, drama at work, not really a lot of drama, but still. Things just kind of like went wrong a lot. It felt like I had a lot of stuff that was just happening, and not for good reasons, you know. So that was that was kind of the week that I was going through, you know, where it was just kind of a fall off week, and it wasn't really that good. Even if last week was like bad, this week would have been fine. You know, it's not a bad week, but it was just it was imperfect, you know. And coming off of perfection, it's noticeable, you know. It's a very tangible change. But still, it's not necessarily a bad one, I'd say, because perfection can't last forever. Heck, perfection hardly lasts at all. You know, it's a impossible concept. Something that is perfect, something that has no flaw, because everything has flaw. Everything is wrong. I mean, honestly, I call it a perfect week, but if I wanted to, I could find problems with it. You know, imperfections. It's the contours of life. You know, and that's all right. You know, I think that having any sense of something that is possibly perfect is already really good. You know, like that's much more than most people get in their life. To have something that you believe is perfect for any amount of time, that I'm already way luckier than most people. But another thing that kind of fed into this imperfection was yesterday. Because the reason why I didn't upload, for people in the future, I didn't upload a Golden Frying Pan Man on the typical Friday because I was actually at a dinner, all like an hour and a half away, or close to an hour away. And it was like a family dinner. A bunch of people were there. It was like dressy casual, where it's like you gotta be kind of dressed up, but don't wear a suit and tie or anything like that. That's kind of the occasion that we're dealing with here. And so I'm gonna die. Yeah. I was doing that, and near the end of it, you know, I got done eating, we were talking, stuff like that. There's still stuff to be done, but after that happened, I get a text, and it says, "Hey, Jay Schlatt is live, and he's doing the submission stream." And I'm like, "What? You're kidding." No way. I really 100% thought that he was going to be doing it, just not recording it. But no, he very much so. He very much so was doing it live streamed. Ow, crap. And so I was like, "Hey, bro," my brother drove me there, and I was like, "Can you please?" First of all, drive me home. And second of all, can I use your phone? Because I have a flip phone. And that's not exactly... They don't come out with Twitch on flip phones. I don't know if you noticed this. So I was driving home as I was hoping to see me on the thing. Because whenever I talked to everybody was like, "Oh yeah, you're definitely gonna be in it. You know, after the last one, blah, 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 you're 100% gonna be in it." Right? And so it was really kind of him. He let me watch his phone on the way home, and I finally get back to my room. I start watching it, and then what eventually happens is I do come up. I come up, and he's like, "Oh, not this guy," which is a funny response. Not this guy. I'm not giving him any more screen time. Skip. And then he skipped me. Which is still such a funny thing to do. And I was like, "What? No!" Because there was so many things that I felt were like, I felt like I had some pretty good jokes in the video. And then he just didn't have it. And so I sent the message, "I'm gonna kill you." And the auto mod didn't allow that to fly for whatever reason. I can't imagine why. But the auto mod like cut the comment, and then a little bit later he said he brought it up as like, hey, Dr. Derp Gamer, for some reason the auto mod didn't allow this comment. Let's see what it is. And it was, I'm gonna kill you. Which is such a funny thing to bring attention to. Yeah, I won't have your your video with jokes in it in my stream, but I'll bring your death threat, sure. And then afterwards I sent, I will kill you with hammers. And he's like, hey, it looks like we got another message that was removed from Dr. Derp Gamer on auto mod. Let's see what that's about. And then he did, and then I sent a couple more messages, but that was it. And then I was like, you know what I'll do? I'll make a response video, which was not something I was planning on doing. I was, I'll be honest, I was really not planning on doing anything like that. My intent was to make the video and then that be it, because I don't know, it just felt like too gimmicky to do multiple times. I don't know, I was a little bit upset because that entire time everyone was telling me like, oh hey, yeah, you're gonna be in it. Well, and then I like made a bit around the fact that like I made a bit, you know, short and simple. I made a bit and it was good. I was happy with it. And multiple other people like followed onto it, and it was something that like I was so happy with how it happened, and I had so many expectations. I built my presence as though I was somebody that mattered, you know, and then that entitlement just got swept out from under me, you know. He was like, you think you're something? You think you're something, kid? Well, let me show you, you know. And he certainly showed me, you know. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. He sat me down. And I was like, this is who you are. This is who you actually are. All right. You think you're this? This is what you are. Which was humbling. It was nice, because to begin with, I didn't think that I really deserved it, but you know, I got it, and then I abused it, and here's the repercussions of that. But I won't let it get me too bent out of shape. You know, I think that getting this lightning in a bottle moment, to help me out, certainly build my reputability and stuff like that, because that was pretty impactful. Because even on my TF2 video, once that came out, people are like, oh wow, I was just expecting to watch a video on TF2 and there's the J Schlatt bald guy in here, you know. And so it did definitely help out with my reputation. But despite that, it's important for me to not live that, if that makes sense. Moving on from a high is just as important as the high itself, you know. It wouldn't matter if I had a perfect week if for the rest of my life all I was ever doing was being like, man, that week was perfect, wasn't it? Man, nothing's been as good as that week. Nothing, because if that's how you look at life, nothing will ever be as good as that week, right? We make the weeks that we live, and so yeah, some things might not be decided by us, obviously. Some things might be woefully out of our control, and you'll have that, without a doubt. That happens all the time. But still, moving on allows for the ability for it to get better, you know. I can't have another perfect week if all I'm ever doing is thinking about how perfect this week was or last week was. Or okay, then that's cool. And so I'm still gonna think that it was cool. It was still so many events that lined up in such a fashion that I mean, of course I'll think it's cool. Why wouldn't I think it's cool? You know. But still, it's important to not obsess over it. It's not important. It's just as important how you deal with it as to it happening in the first place. And so that's why I think it's important to move on. I don't want to be some boomer. I was like, oh, I peaked at 200,000. I was in a J-Schlatt video. You know that? That's me. Oh, I'm somebody because of somebody else. Nah, generally that's kind of a shallow way to look at things. And I don't want to be that guy. So while it was cool, you know, even my next video, I was planning on doing a Tommy in a video. I wasn't planning on doing a J-Schlatt video. Wow, I suck at aiming. That was sad. I wasn't planning on doing a J-Schlatt video because, well, honestly, there's only one more J-Schlatt video that I feel like could be a good topic. Right? And so I don't want to just continuously beat this dead horse of J-Schlatt, because it gets views. Because at this point, I don't know if I could really say it does, you know? At this point, it's kind of just a couple videos that are doing well, and then the other ones are doing all right. I'm doing fine, right? I should say that. I'm doing really good right now. Despite that, I don't think that if I just revolve myself around this guy that evidently could care less about me. Yeah, couldn't care less about me. Sorry. This guy that doesn't know me, doesn't need to know me, and will never know me more than likely. I shouldn't base myself around that, you know? I'm me. I'm not who he lets me be. I'm who I permit myself to be. And so I think that this, like, I think it'll bring more growth than anything. Because now, recently I saw a really good video, from the YouTuber, Lucid. The person that I was actually on the live stream, or well, it was a live stream, but the podcast. UFR, something like that. It was a good podcast, and I was on this podcast, and like, he seemed like a really chill guy, and he made a video. Oh my gosh, he made a video on people getting trapped inside of the TF2 bubble, which is essentially whenever you lock yourself in a niche. He talks about how TF2 is kind of like the perfect niche for many to start off with, and how many people have, like the different ways that people have gone about it and escaping this bubble, right? With Germa establishing himself so much that it didn't really affect him that much. With Stir alienating his audience, and causing a lot of estrangement, which, I mean, he did leave the bubble, and he did eventually make up for it. And Soundsmith trying to leave it, but wasn't able to leave it, so he just basically made it as good as he could. And it was a really good video, but I realized that my idea, like what I was going off of, why I didn't have that big of a problem of being the J-Schlatt guy, is because I figure if I cannot If I cannot define myself as anything more than the J-Schlatt guy, then I didn't deserve to be anything else. You know, whenever it comes to being a content creator, one of the things of the job is to be able to establish yourself in other niches. There's going to be things that you get popular for, and the creators that do the best are the ones that are able to escape that. Like Markiplier, for instance. He got really popular through FNAF, but still, he has other videos. Like, FNAF isn't even the most viewed video on his channel. That would be Meow or Moo. I can't remember. I think it was Meow. And so, yeah, he certainly got a lot of views off of FNAF, but it's like he is a good enough content creator. He is legendary enough that that wasn't what defined him. There's other creators that have similar problems. Uh-oh. There's other creators that have similar problems that they never escape the bubble. You know, they never escape their niche. And in my opinion, yeah, it sucks. But can you really say that you deserve to be out of the niche if you can't get out of it? I don't know. It's a little bit of a critical take on content creation and stuff like that in general. But I think that whenever it comes to being in a bubble or having expectations and feeling entitled to views or entitled to attention, that's where stagnation happens. Nobody's entitled to anything, you know. Oh crap, is it 11 o'clock? It is! I should be waking up right now. Nobody's entitled to views. Nobody's entitled to anything. We're not even entitled to the air we breathe. Every second is a gift. And so to feel like you deserve that I was supposed to be in the J-Schlatt video. Can you believe this man? I made 3 videos on him. How can he not have me in the video? That's blasphemy. That's it's ridiculous. And so it's something that I don't know. I think that if I didn't have this moment where, you know, I have to work on being more than just the J-Schlatt guy. If he didn't do it, then I might have actually gotten stuck as the J-Schlatt guy. I might have gone against my own thoughts because, you know, it's comfortable. We get comfortable. Like, entitlement is just you getting comfortable with things that you shouldn't, right? I feel entitled to J-Schlatt and being in the views that come from him, you know, like, oh, we're so similar, we're so we're kindred spirits, you and I. No, he's a guy, I'm a guy. We don't even live anywhere close to each other, and we're not close to each other in any tangible way. You know, you can make up anything, but whenever it comes to the actual meat and potatoes of it, we're not that similar. I don't think so, at least. And so, yeah, I'm not entitled to him, and nobody's entitled to any views. Entitlement, I think, breeds stagnation like nothing else. Entitlement and expectations. But expectations kind of get into entitlement, because whenever you grow to expect something, whenever you grow to expect it, that's what entitlement is. You know, expectations and entitlement go hand in hand, because expectations are just entitlement but aggressive, you know. But I don't want to be the guy that's entitled. I don't want to be the guy that I don't want to be somebody that's just oh crap. Why didn't he go after my mini? That's also a sentry. I don't want to be the guy that defines himself by how others, what others do for him. You know, that's generally just kind of a crappy way to be, I think. Because it's... Because, like, I don't know, people that are entitled, we love making fun of people that are entitled. They're the worst. They're insufferable, you know. And some things should be just expected, like human decency, for instance. It should not be some, like, miracle that people are... I'm able to... Did you know that I can treat human beings like human beings? I can treat things with kindness and respect. That is not entitlement, you know? Being entitled to being treated like a human being is different than being entitled to, you know, $1,000, $1 million, 100,000 views from a guy that will never meet you. Anyway, how you guys doing this week? I know that we don't... the comments aren't exactly the most active, we'll say. But still, I am curious about you guys. I know very few people watch these videos to begin with, but I've said that this series is a series for me, and I do believe that, and it's cool. But it's cool to take you guys along. If I really just wanted it to be for me, I would just have a journal, which I do, which I would talk in consistently, which I don't do. Because I have this. Why would I do that if I have the golden frying pan man? Silly. It makes no sense. That's what that's why YouTube was made for me. I don't know if you guys know this, but it was made for me. That's the reason why it came out whenever it did, because it came out like 2 months before I was born. So that I would always have something. That's the real reason. That's the real honest to God reason. Fun fact. Okay, cool. But I'm curious how future me, how you doing? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do we ever escape this J Schlatt bubble? Do we ever be anything more? I hope so. But also, it's not the end of the world if this is where I die. I've gotten further than I thought I would, to be honest. Not further than I hoped I would. No. I have insane, crazy dreams. That's my patent. Just absolutely bonkers dreams. That's my specialty. All right, let's see what we got. Hey, I actually needed that. What's that? Hey, okay. I never use a short circuit, so I don't know how helpful that'll be, but